smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Safe and sound.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take
Hello and welcome, everybody.
Playoffs and the momentum leading up to it is all but high at this point.
You have to go into every gunfight in this game, especially where trades are almost a necessity. A Seeker will come through and steal 3.
God damn it, I'm hyped. K7, you just got a trade here on a Wednesday night. Folks, welcome. Hi, how you doing? It's K7 playoff time. Season 3 coming to a close, but Natural Talent and the Knights Templar are looking to duke it out to find themselves in the semifinals. One of these two teams will be playing Rated Gold for a chance to get to the grand finals, and then, of course, be an opportunity for winning the whole season. So it's great. It's awesome. It's a good time. My name is McCormill. Alongside myself is Brett. Sexy as ever.
Well, I definitely do try. I did a little bit with my hair here, tried to spritz a little perfume. I definitely want to try and make myself appealing for you. You're the only one for me. So, but yeah, I mean, this is, just it's the way we got to roll. Anyways, this is going to be a pretty heated match. Interesting comms earlier in Discord that I was listening back and forth from the casters and production team, whatever, on how we think tonight's match is going to be going down. But before we end up getting into that, let's go ahead and check out some of these rosters. Let's go ahead and look at Natural Talent first. So we do have a Sporto, Kat, Mir, and Bishi is going to be sitting in. I believe you did say for Carl. So a little bit of a change there for Natural Talent. Don't know how that is going to be affecting the overall team coming on in here. But these guys, they absolutely are killers on the game, and we'll see if they're going to be able to continue that in here tonight. And let's go ahead and take a look at our next team.
Knights Templar, you've got Mythic, you've got D-Day, you've got XE, and you've got Plasmid. These 4 guys have been playing together for I don't even know if I'm saying a long time is the right way to go about it, because these guys have fought through thick and thin together. First and foremost, they've been playing Season 3 with each other, but number 2, they were the SIUE roster in the CCL throughout the entirety of the season. And what that does is not only does that allow them to have that chemistry in between one another, but they have grown from a team that has been, okay, we think that they're going to be able to make a bit of noise, to, okay, we made a splash in playoffs, getting top 12 inside of the CCL playoffs. Now they're 5-4, getting into the playoffs, last chance, last minute. They're able to beat, they're able to beat the side of, it starts with an M. Can you remind me for me?
Monolithic?
Quick? We can just take a look at the bracket real quick anyways. But Monolithic, yeah. So Monolithic, they do end up taking them down inside of the wild card. That was a great series for them. But more importantly, what that does is not only does that allow them to play up against Natural Talent, might be the greatest match if you wanted, maybe rather would play Rated Gold or Indiana Syndicate to get into that semifinal spot, but they are the one team besides maybe the Heartbreakers that I do think can take Natural Talent down, that can take them, if not to a game 4, to a game 5, potentially, if it has to go the distance. And at the end of the day, Knights Templar, we saw how good they were at the end of the season. We saw what they were able to do against the likes of all the other teams inside of K7 once this roster really got their feet and boots on the ground. And Natural Talent's going to be that first stepping stone to getting not only to that championship, but really solidifying Knights Templar as a team that is here to wreak havoc.
Absolutely. So you do have the opportunity of Knights Templar, as you said, getting better as a team, playing together as a roster, really feeling it out as a squad. And then, of course, you do have Natural Talent, who is making some changes. They have kind of, I don't want to say fallen off, but they've not been the same dominant force that we did see earlier on in the K7 league. So for them going into this playoff section, neither of these teams, or I'm sorry, Natural Talent didn't really have like a warm up, so to say, if you want to, earlier in order to make sure that these guys are going to be proven. but it definitely is going to be, I think, a good match. Like you said, I think Knight Templar does have an absolutely fantastic chance of being able to, at the very least, make this a very, very close match, if not take the whole thing. So let's go ahead and move on over to our maps. And I know that right now, Corn is absolutely ecstatic with our choice of maps here tonight.
Of course.
First one is going to be on Checkmate Hardpoint, which to me, I actually like Checkmate Hardpoint. It's one of my favorite maps. It is a really, we have seen some of the closest games in K7 happening on Checkmate for Hardpoint. It has just been insane comebacks down to literally 2 to 1 ticket games. Just insane plays. So definitely looking forward to that. The rotations from P1 to P2 can sometimes just be the most exciting part of the whole entire map. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here tonight. We do have an S&D on Raid. We are going to be seeing a Control on Raid. And if it does end up going to a hard point, it's going to be on Raid. And then we'll have an S&D on Moscow, hopefully going to that Game 5, Round 11, the cap off this series tonight. So yeah, lots of Raid. These teams are going to be extremely practiced on it. They're going to know exactly what to do, what not to do, all that kind of good stuff. We're really going to be seeing some good individual talent, I think, shining through on those 3 maps, as well as how those teams can actually play with each other, especially Knights Templar, how they're going to be able to function on these maps. So I'm definitely looking forward to our series here tonight, even though most of these people are probably like, oh my God, we're watching Raid 3 times in a row. It's still going to provide us some of the best matches that we're going to be able to see this season. So it's definitely going to be worth it.
Well, I will say this, if we talk about Checkmate, but let's talk about specifically players on this that are natural talent to look out for on map number 1. First name that comes to mind immediately is a Sporto. Main AR for the side of natural talent has been great all year long, but more importantly, has come into a role that is pretty much the, I guess, the cohesive central unit that natural talent needs to win games. When you see a Sportal struggle, that the team tends to waver a little bit in that regard, because when you have your main AR not being able to perform at the highest level possible each and every series, it's very difficult for your SMGs, or at least it's relatively difficult for your SMGs to get up and get aggressive and be able to push up throughout the map, specifically on Checkmate, where, yeah, sure, they can get into that plane, they can get a little bit of control in the plane without necessarily having to have the ARs there to watch over the top of them. But if you're trying to push over towards specifically P5 with those SMGs, and you don't have those ARs being able to light up the kill feed, it's going to be very difficult for you to get inside and get that time. But I will say this, obviously, Carl not playing for the side of natural talent tonight. You've got Bishy entering into the lineup. So when you have Katsy and Carl struggling on the side of NT in Respawn, you struggle greatly. And that's been something that's kind of been almost a catalyst for disaster the entire season. And when you look at Mir, it's almost the X factor of the team, right? If he flourishes, NT are practically unstoppable when everybody else is playing at their tip-top performance. And again, Bishy is a great player to come in and replace Carl as well. So it's not one of those things where you're looking at this team and saying this is a downgrade. And this is basically putting and subbing in another player for Carl at the same or higher skill level at the same time. So it's not like they're going to struggle in that regard. It's only going to be the chemistry factor that could potentially break down NT going into a map like Checkmate.
100% agree. 100% agree right there in that instance. Rotations are going to be obviously important here on Checkmate as well. You know, you mentioned the fact that if you're not gunning, you're not getting those kills. That is definitely going to be making it more difficult. But time and time again, we have seen where teams, they flourish at the very beginning of the map. They're able to get those first set of rotations down pat, but then something happens, something breaks, and all of a sudden they're just playing from behind. And this is a map, like I said before, where you can make those comebacks. You can make that momentum shift happen if you get a good break into the next set of rotations. So going back to what you said a little bit earlier, talking about team cohesion, talking about being able to play together, communicate, that's, you know, going to be a really, really good point for us to be able to focus in on, especially when it comes into this next map.
Unfortunately, though, we do have a player lag out, so we were about to get into the game, but you're going to see us talk for a little bit longer. I know that's probably the bane of your existence at this point, but we're still going to give you the facts here about both of these two teams and really try to set this up, because although the records don't say it's going to be a really close and contested game, with natural talent being at 8-1 and a 24-7 map count compared to the 5-4 record of Knights Templar at 16-13 overall in map count, realistically speaking, you would assume that natural talent is going to have the upper advantage. And still, natural talent do have the upper advantage. Let's not obviously say the Knights Templar are the clear favorite inside of this game.
Yeah.
What we're saying and what we were kind of talking about yesterday, if you were watching that broadcast, is that if there is a team that could take down Natural Talent early on from their side of the bracket, it would be Knights Templar, because of the fact that they not only have played together for an extremely long time now going up into this game, but more importantly, the Respawn is able to match Natural Talents, and they are able to at least combat them in map number 1, get off to a hot start before that S&D, where we know Natural Talent is very, very strong.
Yeah, so we talked about players from Natural Talent that we're going to be needing to watch out for. Obviously, Esporto being that number one player that we were mentioning, and then Mir also following it back up. Just when his team is firing on all cylinders, he's able to really shine in that environment. But taking a look over at Knights Templar, who is it on that team that we're going to be really focusing on, or are looking to really show up and be that star player?
It's going to be Mythic, really. At least in Respawn, I would say. Because in Respawn, in the wildcard game specifically, you look at a 1.3 KD overall in Respawn with 100 total engagements between the hardpoint and the control. And folks, if you aren't really sure what I mean by engagements, that means how many gunfights are going down along the map. So one engagement could be a death, one engagement could be a kill. And when you have over 100 total engagements within 2 respawns, that means you're either basically just leveling it up. If you split them in 2, it's 25 and 25 at the base form inside of the hardpoint, 25 and 25 inside of the S&D, but that's not exactly what we were seeing. No, when you look at the entirety of the playoffs, or rather the playoff wild card for the side of the I'm losing my mind here, of Knights Templar, excuse me. You look at the roster and you see one thing and one thing alone. It's that when you look at the roster and you look at Mythic, he has led the way every single time. For the S&D, we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get there. But if you can find a way to get checkmate through for the side of Knights Templar, it's going to be your golden goose egg, because that is where you have succeeded the most with flying colors. So in that regard, Mythic leading the way with a 1.3 overall, 100 total engagements, great stuff. But you got to continue that here, especially against Natural Talent. And if you waver even a little bit in map number 1, you risk going down 0-2 immediately here inside of the series, and then you're left at the bottom of the barrel trying to scrape up the scraps and get a little bit of water for your life.
I do agree. Yeah, do not want to leave that up to map 3, having to make a complete sweep back in. That is absolutely difficult, even in the best of circumstances. So not going to be a situation that we want to see them in. But yeah, I mean, coming out here, hitting really, really hard on that first map, that's going to be important for both of these teams. And, as somebody who has cast both of these teams quite frequently, but do we see a trend with first map? Because I do know that there's a couple of teams that I've been casting throughout the season in K7 to where they almost always lose that first map. They are not good in first map games. Now the rest of them, they can just walk all over the other team, but they absolutely cannot win that first map. Is that something that we see maybe similar to either of these teams, or are they just going to be coming out hitting on all cylinders? I know Natural Talent has shown fantastic plays throughout their season in K7, but what about Knights Templar?
I mean, Knights Templar, when you look at this roster and you look at the games that they've played, their map number 1s really haven't been a struggle for them. Again, as I said beforehand, you got to be in CCL playoff form for your respawns, and that's what they've been able to do consistently throughout not only K7, but again, as I said beforehand, in the playoffs of CCL, which is the most important time. So they've already been in a situation as a 4-man roster, knowing, one, the pressure that falls upon you when you are in a scenario where there is going to be a lot of high octane, whether it be trash talk or just putting your backs up against the wall and having to fight back from that. They know what that's going to take. They know what that kind of pain feels like, and they're going to be able to break out of that. So I don't think map number 1 necessarily is a struggle for either of these two teams. So specifically for Knights Templar, as I said beforehand, if you get checkmate through the veto process, you're looking good, because that is the one piece to your puzzle that you can push in and know that it's almost a solidified win for you. Now, I don't want to jinx that in any way, and I probably just did, but for the side of Knights Templar, you have that in your back pocket. Map number 1 could go your way because that's statistically one of your strongest maps for hardpoint. So if you go into there, you go into it with a win, then you're looking sitting pretty for map number 2, where again, I said beforehand, the side of Natural Talent are the better S&D team, at least on paper. When we actually get into the map of Raid, it's a bit of a different story, because although they haven't really dropped the map on Raid for the S&D, Natural Talent have at times wavered a bit. And same thing can be said, though, for the Knights Templar. But I think as we're getting into this game here, Brett, I mean, I'm just ready to see these two teams play off against
Yep.
each other and see really what is going to be brought to the table. Because we can talk and sit here and say, oh, yes, natural talent, they could waver map number 1, or Knights Templar, they could be good in map number 1. But we don't know until we actually get into the game, because when you get to a specific point in the playoffs, all the statistics that you have in the back pocket can be thrown out of the window unless there are a glaring issue with the team's chemistry and a glaring issue with the way that the team is able to play a map. And neither of these two teams struggle on any of the maps that are in our map set.
Fantastic analysis there. Fantastic breakdown.
Yeah,
Yes,
your train
hopefully
of
we
thought
are
halfway
going to
through
be.
it, it's not the greatest, but we get it done. We get it done, and that's okay. When you're trying
Right.
to scramble through 4 tabs of notes here that you're trying to pick and choose from, it gets a little bit difficult, but it's okay
Absolutely.
because that's what
Um, All
that's
right,
what
so this is maybe slightly off topic, but I am kind of curious about this,
Mhm.
especially from what we have seen, what we saw earlier last week in some of the professional play, and in this week as well. Guns, are we going to be seeing just the same kind of meta? You think the 2 Kriegs, 2 AK-74Us? Are we going to have any of these guys starting to switch it up? FFAR is well, it's starting to light it up. People are loving it. They're using it as maybe their flex gun to be able to kind of go back and
Yeah.
forth. Do you think that that's going to be coming into effect here tonight? Any of these guys kind of willing to take that chance to switch it up a bit?
I mean, it just really depends on the map that you're playing. Like Checkmate, sure, you can use an FFAR there. Raid, you can use an FFAR there, especially for a multitude of the hard points around that map. And into the control, maybe not going to be the most useful weapon unless you're playing up close and personal over
Mhm.
towards the A control site. But realistically speaking, from a common standpoint of how you're going to be able to play the map, it's going to come down to just playing to your strengths. And if you are a strong man AR, obviously you're going to be using your Krigs. If you're fast playing, fast aggressive subs, you're going to be using the 74U. And sure, if you're playing that flex role, that third player on the map, maybe you'll pull out the FFAR and it can get you a couple of kills here and there. And it's a great weapon to use, specifically for a hard point. Maybe not necessarily checkmate hard point, though. Because if you're going to diversify yourself to an FFAR, sure, it could work. But are you going to sacrifice it if it doesn't work and maybe get out to a slow start? Or is it a last ditch attempt to pull out a weapon that might work for you if you don't get off to a nice start for yourself specifically? Sure. But again, it all just comes down to the maps, and it's a great weapon. You're probably going to see it at least once or twice. So don't be surprised if it does get pulled out.
It's always interesting to see changes in the meta and what these kind of players can come out with. I do know that there are times when it can really throw off some other teams, but I think by this time, people are pretty used to kind of switching it up just a little bit with the craziness that has happened here in these last couple of months. But, anyways, guys, it does look like we're still going to have a little bit of a delay, so we're going to go a quick little break. We'll be right back, so don't go anywhere, and we'll see you here in a few minutes.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is
Checkmate hardpoint, map number 1, Knights Templar in Natural Talent facing off in a quarter-final matchup to get to the semifinals. Winner will take on Rated Gold for a chance to get to the grand finals. It's K7 Season 3 playoffs. I'm a Cormiel. Alongside myself is Brett. It's Checkmate hardpoint. I'm ready to go.
Let's do this thing. All right, starting off with Plasmid here, as we are going to be clashing there into the middle of the map. We'll see if these teams are going to be trying to flip these hard points, making sure that they can set up here for P2. But what site is this, Plasmid? Oh my God, as he is going to be able to get that first initial kill with the nade. Nice little changes going in, but Sporto, Cats both grabbing kills there into the middle of the map. So nice contesting going down here for the plane. Typically what we see, but it's going to be all about where these teams are going to position themselves, like I said, for that next hardpoint. Mythic doing a great job here into the middle, but a nice flank coming in from Bishy as he does pick up at least one, making it 2. Not going to happen, but Cats is there to finish it off. Good little chunk of time should be coming in here for him.
Yeah, so what you're going to see here on the mini map is you saw player number 1 spawn over towards P2, and what that allowed was at least a split spawn in a parallel for the time for Natural Talent and Knights Templar, to where Natural Talent was spawning over towards NASA. And when they started to push back towards the hill, Knights Templar, although they were trying to get a bit of contestation time on towards that point, they were more focused with those P2 rotations. And although you get 12 seconds of time and Natural Talent gets 19 to start the game off, Knights Templar are more than happy with giving up just a 7-second lead to get rotations over towards P2. But as you're going to start to see now, although they spawn on the back, it was a relatively nice push there from Natural Talent. They got those first 2 down, but it just couldn't come through.
You know, and that right there is what is so powerful about having that early rotation. You get those early spawns, so when you die, you're still going to be able to have that pressure onto the hill. But oh my God, look at these players just collapsing in onto the point, but they are having none of it. Plasmid picks up 3. Mirror's going to be back here trying to find him, but Plasmid is still going to be all the way in the back. The spawns have flipped out. Doesn't even matter though. Knight Templar telling him, get the hell off of my point. Esporto now going to be trying to make his way through the back side of the point. Not really what you typically see a team trying to make some headway. But this actually could be decent, I would think, for Knights Templar if they can actually get spawned out. That will give them maybe some early position here for P3. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but rotations are going to be coming on in. Mir trying to make his way over. He's going to be facing in a 1v2 scenario. Not going to happen, though. Information came in from that flash, and they will be able to spot him out. So this is a really good push coming in from Knights Templar as they're coming off of a really hot hold there onto P2, and they're starting to get some control here onto the plane.
Point number 2, you saw players from Knights Templar really get mid-map control, but they didn't have top lane, and they still technically don't have the top lane control right now. So what I want to see from Knights Templar, get a couple of your SMGs, get aggressive, getting towards the top of the plane, and be able to help out your ARs pushing up the map just a little bit. But I mean, when you got a Sporto dropping 3 like that, it's kind of hard to get map pressure no matter what you do, especially when you're below the plane, inside of the point as well. So 3 kills for him. Set him up for some streaks here, but more importantly, as you see the Knights Templar rotating towards that south side of the map, player number 4 is going to be the biggest player here in Plasmid, because he's going to be able to catch these players off spawn and secure those spawns for P5 over towards P4.
And it does look like we have a bit of a split coming on in, and we are going to be having these teams having to fight from behind. D-Day, though, it's going to be setting up right now for this next rotation. Does look like the rest of Knights Templar are going to be here as well, so they are going to be ready and waiting for this inevitable push to come in from Natural Talent. I like the spread that we're coming from Natural Talent, though, to try and get in behind him. Bishy, he's going to be making his way in, does get the kill. No, D-Day just lives with a sliver of health, and Cats isn't able to capitalize on it. Can he actually pick him up? He does finally, with the help of none other than a Sporter, going 12-9 so far. He is looking fantastic in this game, and that was a very quick break coming on in, as we do see Cats finally getting picked up over onto the point itself. So Knights Templar and Natural Talent, they are definitely not disappointing here with this back and forth game.
What we're starting to see from Natural Talent is that cooperative pushing that they continue to do, because I mean, we didn't see it in those first 3 hard points. Sure, they got a little bit of scrap time early on, and Mythic just isn't able to find the shots there, but more or less what you just saw from Natural Talent was not only a clean break, but it also gave them the ability to move themselves around the map and maneuver those P5 spawns in their favor. So although they give up those first 3 hard points, after a clean break for P4, you get P5 in your favor, and now we're just able to have your AR set up over towards Killhouse, over towards the back red, and even if Knights Templar are able to get a little bit of a push up here, you're still going to have spawns in the back and over towards NASA that are going to be parallel to the opposition, where you're going to continue to rack up this time, and nobody from the side of Knights Templar has been able to push up the map even towards the halfway point except for Rybo, and he'll get cut down almost immediately.
We do see right now a lead change coming on in once again. That's going to be Natural Talent here, holding strong, breaking that 100-point mark. And we had, like you said, nobody's been able to get close to this point just yet. D-Day is going to finally be able to get on and get that contestant going. That is going to be huge here. These guys want to kind of maybe get some of this trash time, or at the very least contest some of this last time to keep that game close. But they're really going to be fighting over here for P1. Now, we've seen some really good chains in the P1 and the P2. So these next couple of battles are very, very important here for both of these teams as to who is going to be able to come out on top and maybe push them back into a bit of a spawn trap here. It does look like Natural Talent is going to be your team to make that happen. Plasmid contesting for just a moment there, and he is going to be trying to just rack up these kills. 17 and 14, not going to be happening that time though, as he does get cut down. Mir also going to be able to pick up another one with the Sporto, taking down D-Day. So this is looking like Natural Talent starting to walk away with this little by little as they have full control of the plane. That does look like seeing Plasmid trying to make his way up inside. He is going to be able to pick up one, but really just too many angles are being covered there from Natural Talent, and they will be able to hold with the majority of this time.
So far, Bishi proving to be a good pickup for the side of Natural Talent. 17 and 13, 48 seconds in the point. With Knights Templar still in the contest here, once again, they do have those P2 spawns. We saw Natural Talent be able to push up the map last time, get a couple of those entry picks, and more or less flush out the side of Knights Templar, and they're still going to get these parallels, so it's going to be a 2 versus 2 fight over towards the point. But player number 6 and Mir somehow spawns behind them. They don't even have pressure on towards that side of the map, but somehow, some way, they spawn behind. Now it's going to be on the side of Knights Templar to really push back towards the point, but that's just an example of how moving around the map can really influence spawns specifically. And Natural Talent, they just are more or less the benefactors of a gifted spawn.
Oh my God, Mir right now is going to be taking full advantage of it. He is going to be able to pick up one, but still no points from the hill just yet. Nice little back rage will be finally taking down, but those spawns still going to be coming back in for Natural Talent. Doesn't even matter though. Plasma is there to just lock it down. 25 and 17. He is definitely shining here for this squad. Ribo though, laying down with the possible 2-piece, will be able to connect on all of those shots. So yeah, Knights Templar, they're starting to get back into this, making it an even game once again. We do see Natural Talent still winning out on those rotations, though, and could be seeing potentially here a pushback. Nope, not going to be happening as D-Day makes his way inside the back of the plane. We'll be starting to clear out this point little by little, and that does give some space here for Knights Templar to maybe get up into that nice close quarters combat range to be able to start taking down some of these players from Natural Talent.
See the spread for Knights Templar. They've got 2 players down. If they make this push work, they can try to claw themselves back into it just a bit. But I mean, with Bishi finding 3 kills, it's going to be extremely difficult. And Brett, time and time again, on Checkmate specifically, we always talk about, you know, how P2 and 5 are real money hills. We haven't really seen P3 be a necessary money hill, but Natural Talent has really been able to call it home for the majority of this game. Sure, Knights Templar have had an opportunity here and there to push back in, maybe break for a little bit of time, but Natural Talent has really been able to rack and soak up a ton of time off of it. And if they're able to break P4 once again, even set up early, and then get over towards P5, this game is over.
It is definitely going to be a hell of a run here for Knights Templar if they're going to be able to make it happen. Natural Talent is still locking this down. Mythic going to be coming over here on the backside. Will be able to take down one. His teammate will be there for the support. This is going to be critical break. So far, it is working out for Knights Templar. Bishi is going to be able to pick up one. Bishi picks up 2 as well. Oh. That is huge here to keep it in control of Natural Talent. He's going to continue on this domination. He's on 4, looking for 5. He finds it, not going to get 6. Almost just completely decimating that Knights Templar squad. And man, you were talking about, hey, this was the moment right now that we needed to see Templar starting to heat up. And Bishi just put the quietus on it. That was a beautiful play coming in from him. Now our Sporto is starting to heat up with 2. Not going to get the 3rd one, but my God, that is a huge play coming out from him.
You're just really seeing the dismantlement of Knights Templar right now because Natural Talent, they are doing everything correctly. You're going to see Knights Templar continuing to push not only old hills for scrap time, but they're not able to win those one-on-one gunfights. And no matter what you do on a map, if you aren't winning those initial gunfights and you're letting yourselves get pieced time after time and not being able to be there for the trades, even when you have optimal ability to do so, you're going to lose games. And so far, Natural Talent has been the benefactor of that. 29 and 23 from Bishi, 28 and 21 from Mir. I said Mir was going to be the X factor, and when he's playing well, Natural Talent is almost unbeatable He didn't start off great, but thus far, he turned himself around throughout the entirety of the game. The complexion has completely changed when Mir started to go ahead and find himself in the game. Started, I think, at the first end of the rotations of the first 5 bills. We saw him with like 30 seconds to scrap, or 36 of hill time. Now he's at a minute 28, helping out the rest of his team, not only with kills, but time as well.
Fantastic plays coming in from him. Mythic is now going to be on to the point here for Templars. They need to get some time. They need to try and hold this off. 13 more seconds, potentially going over to Natural Talent. So Rivo, very, very smartly, will be tracking on back, making sure that that does not go in their favor. So nobody's going to be winning on this previous hard point. We are going to be seeing that rotation coming on in for P1. That's going to be Vishy up top. He ends up getting taken down. Mir is also going to get picked up. Now, we have seen some crazy hard points going into the favor of our current loser team that's going to be in the hard point. So this is going to be critical here if they can hold on. They can't. Natural Talent cleans it out, and that is going to be a beautiful play coming in for Natural Talent to potentially lock this up. 9 seconds are left on the clock. That is pretty much going to be it. Every player even trying to get close are getting cut down. Bishy once again was just on a tear, getting that 4 streak, and that right there is absolutely fantastic from Natural Talent. And what looked like a potentially close game coming in with Knights Templar doing a decent amount of work there towards the beginning, even getting into the lead. Just Natural Talent turned it up, and their teamwork was on point. I got to point out, though, Plasmid was breaking 30 kills. I think he was up to 34, 35 kills there towards the very end of the map. And, you know, when you got a player like that that's going off, man, you got to think something's got to get, like, somebody's got to start picking it up on your team. Like, you can't have a player dropping these numbers and not being able to do, at the very least, keep it closer than what it was.
Well, I mean, Plasmid, you pretty much have a guarantee of what he's going to be able to do and how he's going to be able to perform each and every map. Same thing with Mythic. Although Mythic doesn't have a fantastic game, still basically is able to go even throughout the remainder of it. And really, the biggest problem on that map for the side of Knights Templar that wasn't able to do much in not only the way of objective time, but kill specifically, was D-Day. D-Day is one of those guys who, once he gets hot, you expect that team to be able to not only completely be an all-out sprint on the map, but more importantly, take those crucial and critical games. And at 17 and 31, or sorry, excuse me, 17 and 32 to end the game, you're basically going double negative there. And unfortunately enough, you don't technically double negative. It's only by a kill. But in that regard, you do have a player that is significantly lacking behind the rest of the team. And again, I said it inside of that hard point. When you are not getting those kills, when you are not winning those one-on-one engagements, it doesn't matter how good your team is, you are going to lose, especially when you're getting broken in seconds, like we saw time and time again over towards P4 on multiple 2-piece where the team was getting pieced back and forth.
So now going into this raid S&D, we had talked about before where they really needed Knights Templar to take that hard point. That was going to be a critical moment for them to be able to have at least one map up in the series, because they're most likely not going to be able to take S&D. But right now, I mean, we have seen teams, they start, you know, they look flat in the first map, but they come out and they're just banging on all cylinders. They're able to just put up one hell of a show for S&D. Do you see that maybe as an option here for Knights Templar? I mean, with this, with Plasma playing the way that he was, being able to get all of those frags, maybe if D-Day is, you know, able to at the very least start breaking even, getting some effective trades, maybe if they can start doing some really good bait and switches, you know, towards some of those bomb sites, possibly Knights Templar is going to be able to come out here? Or do you think, you know, Natural Talent's just, they got it pretty much wrapped in the bag here?
I wouldn't say they're wrapped in the bag, because saying that is a discredit to what Knights Templar have been able to do throughout the entirety of the year thus far. And if we, again, I like to kind of point out what Knights Templar was able to do against Monolithic Gaming inside of where they were trying to not only get to this round of the playoffs, but keep their playoff hopes and dreams alive. Map number 1, yeah, they win it. Sure, they're able to take the hard point off of the side of Monolithic on checkmate, but when you go into the S&D, they play it on Moscow. Obviously a bit different, but in terms of the weaponry that you're going to be using on this map, it can technically at sometimes be around the same. So looking specifically at a couple players on the side of Knights Templar, one of the players that struggled was D-Day at 4 and 8, but they were still able to win off of not only XE, but Plasmid being able to be the best as he can. So 11 and 6 from XE, 10 and 6 from Plasmid, and 10 and 7 from D-Day as well, or excuse me, from Mythic as well. You know, it doesn't matter really if D-Day is being able to struggle or not inside of the S&Ds. More or less, it's going to be the side of Knights Templar who have those other 3 options that you can go to. But if one person, it doesn't matter who it is. If one person wavers and if D-Day is not able to alleviate himself inside of this, it's not going to matter. It's plain and simple.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. So really a lot of pressure here for Knights Templar to be able to show up, to show what they can do, and to really make sure that they stay in this series, at the very least be competitive, because you do not want to rely on that third map to be really your swing map. I mean, it can be. We have seen that time and time again, but that is definitely a dangerous situation to be in. Real quick, guys, let's go ahead to a very, very short break. We'll be right back. I promise you, having just a few difficulties in the server, but we will be back in just a few moments.
Folks, welcome back to K7 Season 3 Playoffs. My name's McCormick. Alongside myself is Brett. Map number 2 between Natural Talent and Knights Templar. Natural Talent were able to take the first hard point, so they're up 1-0 in this best-of-5 series. There's no losers bracket here inside of the Season 3 Playoffs, so it's win or go home, and the winner takes all to get into the semifinals to play against Rated Gold. We're starting here, Raid S&D, map number 2.
Cats is going to be on our screen right now. Spots out Rybo. Not going to be able to get the frag on him, though, but the information is there, so we'll see if they're actually going to be able to capitalize on this. Nice setup so far. Cats will be able to get that first blood. We are going to be seeing him going back and forth here. Not going to be able to get that frag, though, as he gets traded out. So looking pretty decent right now, as we are onto a 3-3 setup.
1-2. What you're really going to see here is those two players over towards the south side of the map playing in tandem. They need to get a little bit closer together, though, here in a 1 versus 2, specifically so they can get the trades. Fishy in a 1 versus 1.
Oh my God, it's coming down to this here in round number 1. You got to love it, but D-Day not able to make it happen, as we do see him ripping him off of the head glitch. So beautiful plays there. That is going to be Natural Talent being able to take that initial round. So D-Day, though, answered back there. You did see on to Cats, and he will be able to pick up Mirror. So this is a good look, though, as we talked about before. You know, D-Day stepping up. He is going to be the guy that might be able to help out his team to be able to get this win. But a little bit of a rough start for Knights Templar.
If anybody's in doubt that Bishy was a great pickup for the side of Natural Talent, you are running a miss as we stand, because 3-0 to start off. More importantly, a 1 versus 2 clutch there to end the round. And now going on to the offensive round here, they're looking to go over towards A. There's only one player looking for this initial push here. It's going to be D-Day.
D-Day once again getting some shots in. Can he finish out the kill with the nade? He cannot. Getting some pressure over there onto Tiki. Is Bishy once again up in their face. And this guy right now, yeah, he's going to be on a little bit of a 3 streak. Should be able to get that bomb down as well. And we are going to be seeing some pressure there into the middle of the map. That will be Mythic potentially here getting that swing. We'll be able to pick up 1. Looks for 2. All of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, we are down to a 3 versus 1.
Bomb is down, but that nade should be able to take him out. Unfortunately, does not for the side. Knights Templar, you're going to have 1 player coming on the flank, and then you have the other 2 playing the bomb. That's just clinical in a retake in a 3 versus when your post-plant push, you get 3 immediately that go down. You have 1 player starting to flank over towards bedroom. The other 2 are just looking up towards top window. You have that player effectively trapped with nowhere to go and no escape route. Unless a player from behind gets cut down, or you get 1 player off of the bomb and then make it effectively a 1 versus 2. That's the only way you win that round. Fortunately enough, though, for the side, the Knights Templar, they get their first round on the board here, tie things up at 1 apiece, and they'll go back to the offensive round with an opportunity to maybe make it 2 in a row.
We'll see if that's going to be the case. So right now, looking like it's fairly standard in terms of the guns that we are going to be using. Nothing too crazy. We do see possibly 3 Krigs there, look like, but we will see if that's going to be the case later on. But Bishy is going to be going right up the gut, and this is what I love, that aggression coming out from this man, and he is going to be able to continue on his domination, or will he get taken down? Looks like it is going to slow down over here towards that B push. First blood is going to be coming on in, so Plasma is down, not going to be able to do anything for his team.
Got 3 players spread out over towards B. You've got 2 players playing through middle map. We talk about how important middle map pressure is, especially on raids, specifically in S&D. And with Natural Talent already having a 4 versus 3, this isn't allowing Knights Templar to really have any sort of rotational atmosphere. But you do have bomb in hand still, 45 seconds to work with, and you're over towards B, so it's a start. At least if you get a pick.
Well, they are wasting a lot of time. D-Day is going to be able to get that pick that you were just talking about. Mythic, though, taking a lot of damage. He decides back on up, play it safe, but we are running right down to the wire, so it just might come down to just how many kills we can see coming in for either of these teams. Bishy is going to be able to pick up 1. Looking for 2, is going to find that with a Sporto. D-Day, though, answers back with Cats. You got to say, D-Day right now, he is really shaping up, but can he actually pick up this clutch?
Well, he knows that the bomb is down on B. Bishy can just play this angle for the last 13 seconds, and D-Day is going to be the one that has to make this play, has to make this push up the map. And if Bishy can just run away right now, he'll be able to escape with his life, but he's going to challenge around the corner anyways. D-Day's there. The shots are coming through. 2 seconds left. You've got to find the kill, D-Day. You've got to go. But Natural Talent, they'll take their second round here, up 2-1 on the side of Knights Templar.
You know, at that point,
look, Brett, that right there is beautiful, because that's just trade after trade for the set of Knights Templar.
Honestly, though, at the very end, D-Day, I feel like he should have just went ahead and challenged that. You know, he was already weak. It already looked like you were going to be losing the round. I don't think Bishy was in a position there to get streaks. Yeah, he only had 1 kill that game. So just go ahead and challenge it. Who knows? You might be able to get lucky, get a headshot in there, clutch it up there at the very end. But a Sporto here might be able to snap it off with the first blood. That is going to be huge here for Natural Talent once again. But we have seen these rounds kind of go back and forth as Rybo is going to get the information. He knows the push is over towards A. Bishy, though, doesn't even matter. He's going to be able to pick up Plasma down to a 2 versus 3.
I mean, just a full-out assault, and I said middle map control is big, but I mean, Knights Templar, you've got to at least send a little bit of pressure over towards B, and effectively that pressure gets shut down. But now you've got all 4 players from Natural Talent being able to hold angles. Knights Templar have legitimately 0 chance of being able to retake this round unless somehow they're able to take out Mir here, but he's got another player watching his back.
No, he doesn't. Sporto does get picked up. Rybo, he's on the hunt. He is looking for him right now. Mir, though, is finally going to be able to get on the board. He picks up 1, now down to a 1 versus 2. And look who it is. It's D-Day to try and make it happen. This time, though, he's got an AK-74U in hand, but only 20 seconds left here, and he's not going to be able to make it happen. And we got a little bit of body shooting going on.
My favorite. But again, that's another scenario where you saw on a defense and an offensive try for the side of Natural Talent that they're able to effectively trade out. You get the kill there from D-Day, sure. You know, he trades out his teammate after that first kill goes through. But more importantly, D-Day comes around the corner, gets Catsy, is weak. The other player's playing in Laundry. They've got that perfectly spread out to watch every single lane, every single angle that a player could have been pushing from. And they have information on where that player is going to be anyways because of the gunfights that had just gone down over towards Laundry. And he's not going to take the time to wrap back through middle map. So effectively, once again, you put your players in the right spots. Your post-plant push, your post-plant setup works for the side of Natural Talent. And now Knights Templar, they're down 2 rounds.
Well, now we're going to be switching it up. It's now B-Hit coming on in for Knights Templar. See if it's going to be successful here. as that's going to be Cats getting Mythic right away. Bishy, though, on the long flank. Oh my God, Bishy. No way. He's going to be able to do some damage here. We do see some trades coming on in. That is going to be it right there. What a collapse coming in right now for Natural Talent. They are just devastating Knights Templar.
Look, I said map number 1 was a high point for the Sun Knights Templar to be able to take because of Natural Talent being so damn good in S&D. Thus far, they have shown nothing but greatness, and with Bishy being at 7-1, even if Carl was here, they'd probably still be winning, but this pickup of Bishy might be the single greatest thing Natural Talent have done throughout the entire season, because not only has he put on a show for everybody here that's watching the playoffs, but he's helped this team go above and beyond what they were capable of doing in the regular season, and I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, he has done it thus far.
It's not crazy. It is absolutely fantastic to see, as that is going to be Bishy getting picked up first, though. And that does leave it open right now for Knights Templar to try and maybe steal this round. And they are going to be going back and forth. D-Day does end up falling there to Casimir is going to be in the hunt here. Does get picked up himself. So Cats now going to be wrapping around to Laundry. He could get a nice little flank going down. Spots out Plasmid. Oh, but Plasmid says no. Run out to my bullets, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and take it.
You got one person left. Sporto. How in the hell do you escape from that? Somehow Mythic's not able to find the shots, but you've got the bomb down over towards B with 2 players from Knights Templar already set up around it. So with these 2 players being able to play together, what you should see, and hopefully isn't a repeat of round number 1, is a win in a 1 versus 2 where you have the 2-man advantage.
Sporto, he's going to be trying to pick up this bomb. We'll be able to, at the very least, get it in hand, but I think he's going to be looking out for these kills, and he's just not going to be able to find them. Yeah, so not a repeat of round number 1. Knights Templar will be able to get back onto the board once again, and that is a much-needed round to stop this bleeding.
Finally, you caught up the blood.
That is a nice shot right
for a little
there.
bit. I mean, it is. And it's on Catsy too, because you obviously run into the pre-fire. You don't know how long the pre-fire is going to be there, but you got to challenge it eventually if you're over there towards Laundry, because you don't know where the other players from the side of Knights Templar are going to be pushing from. But realistically speaking, you're still seeing this great setup from both of these 2 teams each time. But although Natural Talent has looked relatively unbeatable thus far, an all-out assault over towards A is not a bad call from Knights Templar, especially if you're able to at least maybe find a Sporto here early on. You've at least got information now, but you don't know Mir's pushing up. And as if Sporto falls, here comes Catsy once again. They're looking for the flank this time, though. They knew Bishy was coming and Catsy was coming. So now it's a 1 versus 4 for Mir.
So maybe just some adjustments coming on in. Mir, let's see if he can go big. He cannot, does get taken down. And that's what you wanted to see from Knights Templar. Being able to make those adjustments. They realized what was going to be going on. They played as a unit, and you can just look right here. That was a 2-man flank coming in, and they just lined up right for Mythic. Beautiful plays coming in for Knights Templar to be able to hold on to that.
You're climbing back. Yeah, either way. You're climbing back. Plasmid on 5. Mythic on 3. Plasmid, you're going to want to play this aggressively, at least somewhat, but you're going to push this with the rest of your team. You're going to wait for your team to make a little bit of a play, not only to bait out a few shots, but more importantly, make it to where you're able to get the kill. Because a couple are going to push up through the kitchen. That's an equalizer of 3 versus 3, but more importantly, if you're Natural Talent, you got the bomb going down over towards A with no opposition in sight, but they can rotate this back over through Laundry, and more importantly, through the kitchen.
And we will see if this is going to be producing some results here. Esporto waiting into the middle of the map, just trying. Oh, he's going to be able to find it right here. Yeah, that's an easy kill onto Plasmid, but Bishy, Bishy does get taken down in the process. So 2v2 going to be going down. D-Day is going to be set up. We'll see if they can make this retake happen. Looking for Cats in bedroom. So right now, this is looking fantastic, but a flank coming in from Esporto once again. Does D-Day catch him out? He does. That's going to be a punch coming on up. 12 seconds left. Can Cats actually do this? He should be able to pick him off the bomb.
Nice. That right there is exactly what it takes to win S&D rounds when it gets down to the nitty-gritty. You see the player trying to block with the body to prohibit the shots from the guy who's defusing the bomb, but more importantly, up from above, Catsy's able to find that final kill and put Natural Talent at game point now, and if they win this, at serious point going into the control. But right there, Mythic, unfortunately aren't able to save your teammate, but you're able to find those shots. I'm not sure if the player that was defusing had a Krig or a 74U in hand, but if you have the Krig right there, probably going to be the better weapon to use and let the other person defuse. But let's be honest, it's nitpicky at that point. You've got only a couple seconds left in the round to really make a play happen, but Catsy just does the impossible. When the impossible is able to happen, pull around the win.
Those are the moments that separate teams, man. You know, and you call it nitpicky, but those are the moments that really make the difference. And right now, we are going to be seeing a very slow potential push coming in right now for Knights Templar. I think they're waiting for that flank to come in. And yes, it is. That's going to be a Sporto getting taken down. So I think right now, Natural Talent is a little bit too predictable. That's what, the third time that's happened. And we have seen Knights Templar being able to really respond in kind.
You lose that round, you keep Mythic alive, and unfortunately, you're not able to get that 7th kill for the score streaks, but you are in a 3 versus 1. Bomb is down over towards B. You're going to be able to retake that and reclaim that and wrap it over towards A because your teammates are already over there. So with 1 versus 3 for Bishy here, started out 7-1, went to 7-3, or excuse me, 7-4 the last couple rounds. Finally was able to get back on the board with another kill here after what was very, very slow for him comparatively to the first couple of rounds. But with 45 seconds left, Bishy now in the 1 versus 3.
Oh, Bishy, please make this happen. This would just be an epic, epic round as he does spot out D-Day, get some damage into him, not going to be able to finish out the kill, so they know where exactly he's going to be at. 32 seconds to make this play happen, and Bishy having to check all of his corners, but it is going to be D-Day. Oh, but D-Day didn't heal up, and he's going to go down, so now a 1v1, and it's all up to Plasmid here to try and pick this up, making sure that they will stay in this map.
Can you get the kill? Yes, you can. Bishy, 1 versus 2 in round number 1. 1 versus 3 in round number 9. You secure the game, secure a 2-0 lead, and more importantly, you absolutely neuter the side of Knights Templar to the ground. You defeat them in every single aspect, including the mindset going into game number 3. And although they might be decent at control at this point, Natural Talent, you're just beating a dead man while they're already on the ground and basically all blood's left their body.
That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. Man, we said Natural Talent could just go ahead and walk away with the S&D. That's exactly what happened. Templar, they tried to make some adjustments there. It looked like maybe that was going to be the case, but man, you cannot give up those rounds. And honestly, though, you know, it's really Bishy. Like Bishy really came through. He was top fragging there in that round. He was able to pull off a couple of those clutches. I mean, that was, as you said, that is a player that you absolutely love to be able to pick up, especially going into a playoff situation. So he is just on fire at the moment. And when you got a player like that, obviously the vibes on the team have got to be feeling absolutely incredible as you head into map number 3. You just crushed them on the hard point. You crushed them on the S&D. Now you go into control and man, you got to be feeling untouchable.
Well, maybe one player does, because he is. Bishy, you quite literally cannot contest this player right now, no matter how hard you try. You had rounds, once again, where Knights Templar, that should have technically been a round where they were up 5-3. Maybe 5-4 at that point, but you have multiple opportunities where you lost a 1 versus 2. You had a 3 versus 2 that you choked. This one maybe isn't necessarily a sticking point that we should make for, but I'm going to make it anyways. When you're in that round where you have a 2 versus 1 and Catsy's able to make the God play out of the window in the very last moment when a full send, but no matter what, realistically, Knights Templar should have had a technical advantage in the round count, or at least been going into a round 11 or a round number 10 at that point, but you can't really say anything other than the side of Natural Talent just completely pulls the incredible out of their ass and holds it in their hand and flings it at you like a monkey. I mean, I don't know.
Let's take a look at it. Okay, 3 rounds that really stick out. Round number 1 goes down to a 1v1. D-Day's not able to win it, okay? You see the round there with Cats. He's going to be able to pop up, kills the defuser. They end up getting that round win. The last one there, you see a 1v3 clutch coming on in for the defuse. Those 3 rounds go into the other direction. All of a sudden, we're a 1-1 tie going into map number 3. I mean, that's it. That's how critical those moments were, and Natural Talent just making the most of it. So yeah, they are feeling fantastic. And as you said, Bishy, is anybody going to be able to stop him here going into once again raid? I mean, we're back on what potentially is going to be a very rough map here for Knights Templar for control. Now, out of these 2 teams, because you've definitely cast Knights Templar a lot on control. I mean, are we going to be seeing some decent movement coming out of them? Because, rotations are going to be absolutely important here for this particular map.
It doesn't really matter how many times you watch a specific team in whatever game mode that they're going to be playing. You can look at an entire series complexion, and although they have nothing to lose and nothing scarier than a team that has absolutely nothing to lose, but regardless of the fact, you lost 2 maps. You're demoralized at this point after losing not only a 1 versus 3, a 1 versus 2. In the hard point, you started off great, and after the first set of rotations, you completely lost your spunk. You completely lost your stride. You tripped. I'll make this analogy. You were running towards the end zone as a New York Giants quarterback, and then you trip and fall at the 10-yard line because you couldn't keep on your feet long enough. And although you might score a touchdown at the end of that game, you still lose. So, with that being said, natural talent. You got one more map to take control of the series. Move yourself onto the semifinals and face rated gold. If you're Knights Templar, well, you've got at least one map here to show one more time that you're still alive inside of said series. But with Bishy getting that first blood, it's going to be another one of those scenarios where that first 4 down or those first engagements on a control dictates the entirety of what the map and what the round is going to be.
And we are going to be seeing some fireworks happening around that A side. Good trades going back and forth. It does look like we see him favoring the Knights Templar for the time being. So they're starting to get that time onto A. And if they get an early cap here onto A, that would be huge. Nobody going to be getting that rotation onto B just yet. I like Esporto sitting over here, making sure that he is basically the gatekeeper on that B site. You do not want to be giving up any unnecessary time onto that B site, because it can really come in, bite you in the ass later on.
Bishy and Katsy, pair for 2, and you're going to get those close spawns over towards bottom B, at least for those first 2 players starting to make this push through. What you're going to want to see here from the side of Knights Templar is you're going to want to work between both of these 2 sites, but they're blocking the close spawns for either A or B, so now you're just going to be able to push them all the way back in towards the garage. And as Katsy gets that kill over towards Tiki, now this just allows for you to have that setup that you've already created in that spawn trap to be magnified even further. And sure, you can break out over towards A here. You've got nobody watching it, but you've already captured that zone. So nobody from the side of natural talent needs to move over there. They can just stay where they are on the map and look for these long-range gunfights like Katsy does here in middle map. And although he loses that one to Mythic, you've still got the advantage with player number 6 playing over towards bedroom.
Oh, Mir right now is going to go huge. Oh, no, he doesn't get the kill. Gets turned on by Rybo. Cat's there, though, able to shore it up just a bit. We'll be able to clean that up. So no push onto B just yet. We do see a huge flank from Plasmid, though. He's going to be going all the way back around. It's going to be massive through courts if he can actually get a couple of kills. But look on the other side. That's Bishy embarrassing them with an assassination.
At a certain point, you don't care anymore.
No.
You're up in lives. You've got map presence. You've got map pressure. But look at Plasmid. Sneaky, sneaky Plasmid. All the way in the back. Playing so passive, yet so smart. Waiting for his teammates to potentially go ahead and find those first couple of kills over towards bedroom. But unfortunately, they can't. He'll be able to find one. He knows that a Sporto's inside of Tiki. Can get him weak, and if he wants to, he can just slide across this and push it into a Sporto, but the trophy system's there. I believe he saw that about 6 times on the peak, but still decided to throw the Semtex as well, so bear in mind, you, that there's only 20 seconds left in the round to make a play here for the Son of Knights Templar.
And 7 lives left as well, so they're going to have to make something out of nothing right now. Plasmid is going to be able to pick up that 1 kill, stopping the clock at 9 seconds. So can they get this clear? Mythic, that's a good start. We'll be able to finish it out with Mir. And we do see Plasmid still trying to hang on, but only 3 seconds left. He's got to get on the point. He's got to be able to contest. Mythic is there for the help. No trophies are down just yet, so the nades are going to be able to clear it out. And that right there is natural talent being able to, well, yeah, they lose a little bit of time on B, but ultimately they're able to come on back on, clean it, and that's going to be a round 1 for them.
Your one shining hope on the offensive round there from KT was your push over towards Ring, getting that first bit of progress at A, completing the entire capture of it, and getting that extra minute on the clock. After that, it was quite literally all downhill. Katsy picked up from where he was, kind of started to heat up a bit in the SND, 10-4 through round number 1. Doesn't have any streaks to bode for that record, however, it got the job done in round number 1. So you're up 1-0. One more round will not only put you at serious point, but it basically secures you the round win and the game win. Rybo might be able to make a play here through ARP. You've got 2 players looking for it, and although you have 1 player left alive there, they're going to get the spawns in garage and now be able to push up through middle map to either play over towards A or B and then split the attention of Knights Templar.
Sporto's just going huge right now. Not able to get the second kill. Does get taken down eventually, but not before they did get some nice progress on A. Looking for that third tick here in just a few moments to extend that timeout. Rybo, though, he needs to make sure that he can stop this. Will be able to do just that. So this does give a little bit of life to him onto the A side, but onto the B side of the map, well, that's left wide open, and we're already working on our second tick.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Split the attention of the defensive team. You already got 2 ticks of progress a day. You now control all of B. Put an extra minute on the clock. You're tied at 22. So even if it's a slow hit, you're still spawning relatively close over towards A. At least player number 8 does. You've got 2 players getting the progress ticked down over towards A, but really you can't do much because, as I said beforehand, you've got 2 damn ticks on it. So they can just start to push this. They've got 1. Looking for number 2. There it is. You push onto this point. You've got 2 players stacking it. If you're player number 1 in D-Day here, you can't push out. That's a round win. You're at series point now, up 2-0 in the control, up 2-0 in the series. 1 more round in the sweep for the side of Natural Talent will put them in the semifinals.
They are right now just skating on this team. It is looking like it is just easy goings all the way around. They're getting the kills. They're getting the rotations. They're making the plays. Nothing is going wrong for them. On the side of Knights Templar, it just seems like no matter how hard they're fighting back, they just cannot make anything happen with it. I mean, taking a look at your kills and your deaths, you know, Plasmid, a man who is shining in the hard point, he's 6 and 7. I mean, he's doing basically nothing in this round, and the rest of his team is struggling as well. I mean, the only thing you can say for Plasmid is that he's just not dying as much, but they are just not able to compete here. And real quick, as this might be our last and final round, let's go ahead with a quick listen in with Natural Talent.
Steps, one open steps.
Okay.
Open steps, dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go laundry, bro.
I'm going B.
I'm your top laundry. Give me a second. There's 2. Ready? Ciao.
Stop. What the fuck? What is happening?
One.
The casters are going to talk
both.
to bombs.
Nice. Oh shit. We're gonna hear me. Nice.
Oh, bitch.
They're gonna be B.
My pussy.
Oh, dead, brother.
Yeah, high drive.
Oh, that was beautiful. That honestly was absolutely beautiful, and I don't believe we have our view back. That is Discord opened up there, and I'd love to see the game, but you know, Discord also is quite nice here in the K7 League. But I mean, right there at the very beginning, you go in there, you hear it, and exactly what you hear is, ready, Chow, 1, 2, 3. They hop out around the corner, they're able to make the plays. And, well, although Knights Templar, they've got 2 ticks over towards A, you've got 45 seconds left. They're charging over towards B, so now you can split the attention. You've got kitchen control, one of the most important things to have here when you are on the defensive side, excuse me, the offensive side, looking to chow back over towards B, and you're still able to win the gunfights. What did I say in the hard point, Brett? You gotta win your damn gunfights.
Yeah, and right now it's not looking like that's going to be the case. Cats is going to be able to pick up 2. That's Mir picking up another one as well. So they're pushed all the way back over here to inside their spawn, basically. And oh my God, Cats! No, stop it! I was going to say Pip picks up Mythic. That is just disgusting. Esporto on the other side. Well, he's going to be looking potentially for 2. Oh no! This is over here, ladies and gentlemen. We will be seeing A starting to get ticked over, but man, you got to think 9 and 14. They're not able to secure the time. Finally, now getting an extra minute on the clock, but. Yeah, you got to just think that Natural Talent has this wrapped up.
You get the close spawn over towards B. Your last hope, last ditch effort, and you play a bit passive because you want to make sure you can get at least 1 or 2 picks as you start getting over towards the site. And, oh, there they are. Player number 2, or excuse me, that's player number 7. Player number 2 finds the kill. So now you got 3 players pushed up, and the reinforcements are going to be coming off the respawn, although it's only going to be 1 more. This is, again, your last ditched opportunity. Esporto will come around the corner, finds 1. D-Day, they're going to be able to find the trade. 3 versus 5. Somehow you've gotten it to a close game, and a 2 versus 5. You've got to get on the point. You still got 50 seconds to work.
Oh my God, this would be amazing if they do end up pulling this off. And Mythic is going to be coming around in the kitchen. He is not going to be able to get the kill. So a 1v4 Mir, can you actually do this? Can you pull off the impossible? It is going to be getting pushed from every different direction. It does look like, yeah, he is going to be able to show up, get killed with the assassination. And that's going to be Natural Talent with a quick 3-0 in the control. It looked like maybe there was some life there from Knights Templar, but honestly, it was never in the cards for them to be able to take this map. They were always going to go down, and Natural Talent absolutely knew that as they move on to the semifinals.
A fitting way for the map in the series to end. A Knights Templar player on the their knees getting blasted in the face by a pistol. And no, we're not going back into
Oh,
raids, folks. Don't you worry. No, we are finished with this series. It's a hot 3-0 for the side of natural talent. Again, I thought Knights Templar was going to be one of those teams that could take maybe a map or two or even a series of a natural talent, but with an addition like Bishy, even if Carl was still on the roster, I still think it probably would have been similar, if not the exact same results. Natural talent does what they should do, does what they have done all season long. They advance to the semifinals. They'll play rated gold, and then they'll have an opportunity to get to the grand finals where you would assume they'd play the Heartbreakers, but anything can happen on the top side of the bracket.
100% agree with you on that one. Even with Carl into the roster, I mean, everybody was just firing on all cylinders. It looked like it was impossible for the word go. They had absolute control throughout the entirety of this match. I mean, Hardpoint, S&D, and Control was all natural talent all day long. So props to them. They're feeling good. They're going to be moving on, like we said, and next week is going to be amazing. I think you're casting tomorrow again, right?
I am indeed.
Yeah, so that's going to be the Heartbreakers versus, is it Hype? Heartbreakers versus Hype match is going to be coming in. You would assume is also going to be Heartbreakers being able to take that one. If whoever does win that match will be moving on and facing off against Valiant Gaming. And if this is the same roster that was playing in the regular season for Valiant Gaming, you got to admit that that potential Heartbreakers, if they win Hype Esports versus Valiant Gaming, is going to be one hell of a good match to go down. But this is looking to shape up for a nice semifinals and awesome championship match here next week.
I can't wait for it, folks. Want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to the people that make this possible, our partners here at K7 League, Innovated Gear, designed by you, GitGudHosts, DropShotStats, and Rogue Energy. Again, nothing is possible without these players, without these people, and of course our partners as well here at K7 League, the Spartaners as we call them here. But realistically speaking, we've got a matchup tomorrow, as Brett was just talking about. Hype Esports and the Heartbreakers will be going at it for a chance to get into the semifinals. And then after that is over, next week we start our championship week with the 2 semifinals matches and our grand final championship match to see and find out who will be crowned victorious as the victor of season 3 of K7. Folks, it's been a great time here. We appreciate every one of you for coming out. Like the stream real quick too, just because it helps us out here at K7, helps the players out, and helps the entire K7 League grow. With that being said, my name is Ben McCormiel. Alongside myself has been Brett FX. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern.